Hey guys, welcome to Maneuver. I'm Advocate Nisha Lotia, and in my today's session we will discuss about the legal reasoning section for CLAT 2021. Students, as we all know that in December 2019, the CLAT consortium had announced a drastic change in the paper pattern, and therefore CLAT 2020 was the most awaited one, as we all were eager to see how the changes were actually incorporated. So the aspirants who will write CLAT 2021, it becomes a sheer necessity for them to analyze CLAT 2020 paper for the thorough understanding of the examination. So guys, in this video, we will not only analyze the legal reasoning section of CLAT 2020, but will also discuss the 100% score booster strategy, which is very much essential to get into the top NLU'S. Okay guys, so on this note, let's get started. So in this slide, we're going to see about the CLAT exam, the details, the details which you should know about it. Okay, so the CLAT is a national level entrance exam for the admissions to 22 NLU'S and several other colleges and universities. So students, the aspirants, the law aspirants, if you get into any one of these, you will get one of the best placements. Okay, so very much important is your CLAT entrance exam. The total marks are now 150. Earlier, so for the till 2019, the total marks were 200. So there were 200 questions basically. Okay, and now they have reduced it to 150 only. Okay, so this is one of the plus points. The legal reasoning section, what are we going to talk about today, will, you will have 38 to 40 questions from here. The time durations, the total time durations to write the CLAT paper is going to be, 120 minutes, which is nothing but your complete 2 hours. Marks are like, it is one mark each for your correct answer, and there is a negative marking which is 0.25 marks for the each wrong answers. So I would advise that if you're sure that you're not aware about anything, then it is really good to leave that answer rather than mark a wrong one. Okay, so let's get started with the analyzing of the legal reasoning section of 2020. But before here, I would like to tell you earlier that is till 2019, okay, the questions were more based on the facts and the principles. Okay, and these principles were something that you could predict it, like there were important points from the contract law, they're from the tort law, the Indian Penal Code, your constitution, the intellectual property. All these were very, very important, and there were some principles from these topics, and there were their facts where every time they used to frame a different facts. Now I'll tell you, there's a question like what is a void contract, what is a voidable contract. So these were some of the important topics which we could always expect in the paper. Now with the current scenario, after seeing the 2020 paper, guys, what I feel is that the concept actually remains the same. The topics what you need to study is actually the same, but only the way it is pushed, put into a question and answer type has been changed. There will be a passage of approximately say 300 to 350 words, maximum. There are passages which were of even 200 words also. Okay, so from these passages they will give you some facts, and you have to then analyze them with the legal point of view and answer the questions based on those passages. But my thorough understanding of the examination of 2020 tells me, yet studying for the contract law, tort law, Indian Penal Code, and intellectual property, constitution will go a long way, because the questions will be based from these topics only. But it is not in the in a form of a principle. Now it is in a form of a passages, and wo passages bhi kaise, they will be on the story types. Okay, like say Vishakha gas Patnam, abhi jo hua tha recently, the gas leak tragedy. Okay, so the national news, the law news, the legal news, okay, which are of the national importance, has to be mainly put into a kind attention towards it. Why? Because इसी में से आपके questions frame होने के chances है. Correct? Do you get my point? So you have to study. There is no looking back towards it. You have to study the contract law, the tort law, the Indian Penal Code, because questions are again based on these rules only. Now the CLAT consortium has been successfully doing this. What they have been telling us that there will be no memory based questions. So there are actually no memory based questions, but to understand the law, but to understand the passages what they had given, to have a prior knowledge will always ace in the examinations. So guys, it is very very important, mandatory, crucial and significant for you to study the basics acts, which are the contract tort, Indian penal code, your constitution ko the top priority dena, and their intellectual property. These are few topics which you should know before entering the CLAT examination. Let's start with analyzing the passages, okay, which were based on your examination for the 2020. Okay, one was based on your COVID-19, okay, and it was an excerpt which was taken from Business Today, that is for April 17, 2020. Okay, now this was based, the entire passage was based on the contract law. Okay, it was about the force majeure. Okay, it was about the force majeure, whether it was based actually whereby if there are the natural disaster occurring, then how would a contract further take shape. Okay, so basically it was a story type, correct, which was related to COVID-19, but then there was a law in it which is based on the contract law, correct. The next was the obscenity. Now how is the obscenity defined? Till what level is the obscenity allowed, which will not regarded as an obscene in the eyes of law. The article which talks about the freedom of speech and expression, okay, the whole article was based on this. Okay, so basically we can say that this type of a question is nothing but covering a constitution. Do you get my point, guys? Next is the common intention. What does the common intention mean? The next passage was from the common intention, the similar intention. Now the common intention is what? That the I'll say a simple example, that a group of people, okay, a group of people who have a common intention to say rob a bank, so they will all come together, they will make a plan, and they will all know what is the individual's role into it. So that is called as a common intention. Just for at the time of a bank robbery, if there are people there, and then it won't amount to common intention. How a common intention is different from a similar intention. Okay, so the entire concept, entire passage was based on that. So this is nothing but from your Indian Penal Code. Okay, this is nothing but your Indian Penal Code. Okay, and LG Polymers, this is for your Vishaka gas, Patnam gas leak. Okay, now over here it was about the strict liability and the absolute liability. So again it is the tort law, guys. Again it is a tort law. Okay, how when you are dealing with the hazardous substances, how you should go about it, how does the case take shape, what does the law play into it. Okay, so basically guys, I'm again directing my you guys towards this, that please understand, study the contract tort, Indian Penal Code, everything very much in details, because the passages are gonna be based on these types of laws only, because yet you are not the lawyers. Say they can't ask you about the Indian Evidence Act, or they will not talk about say CRPC, the method of it. No, they will have to talk about the basic things. Correct, guys. Next is the ex post facto laws. And our passage was based on the ex post facto laws, which means that guys, that the law if made today, will it have a retrospective effect or not. Okay, so again it is based on the constitution. So the fundamental rights of the constitution, guys, the fundamental rights, the DPSP, that is nothing but your directive principles of state policy, the emergencies, all these topics are very much important, crucial for your examinations. Okay, one more thing I would like to add over here, that anything that is related to environment, will be important if, as per your examination point of view. Okay, next is principles of natural justice. There was a passage from the principles of natural justice, which was an excerpt taken from blog.ipleaders, from the 12th June 2019. Now there are the three principles of natural justice. Okay, one is that no one can be a judge in his own case, correct. The next one is that you have to hear both the parties, and third one is there has to be a reasoned decision. Okay, so the passage was based on that nobody can be a judge in its own case, correct. So you have to understand these things. Again, this is, constitution based, guys. So I'm telling you again that you have to read properly and understand it. But over there, because of the time constraint, you don't have the reading and understanding, that good, because these words are going to be new for you. Okay, so the prior revision, the prior understanding of the concept is very, very crucial, guys. Next is mob lynching. Then there was a case from the Arnab Goswami's case. Okay, so these were the things which were, actually asked in your 2020 paper. So analyzing these things, I think the value which has more of the national news, and which includes your basic concept of the Constitution, Contract Act taught, will play a major role in acing the examination. Now, in this slide, we're going to study about the preparation strategy. Okay, the first and the foremost when any strategy goes is the awareness about the syllabus, awareness about the changed paper pattern year, because 2020 was the first examination. So you don't have much material also available in the market, guys. So please be aware of the new things what you're bringing to yourself, that the mentors what actually who gonna mentor you has to be thorough with the examination. So awareness about the changed paper pattern. Again, I'm telling you, there will not be the questions which is based on principles and facts. Okay, they are not the questions. They will be in the passage form, guys. And these passages are from the latest news. Okay, the latest news which they combine with the law. Correct? And studying about the Constitution and studying about the environment goes without saying. You have to ace these subjects. Correct? Okay, so contract, Indian Penal Code, then your tort law, Constitution, these will be the major ones. Okay, readers are the leaders. Imagine जहाँ पे एक सिर्फ इंग्लिश का रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन, everybody were petrified about the reading comprehension. Now the entire CLAT paper is a reading comprehension. All the sections are reading comprehension. Just imagine you have no other choice but to go up your level of reading. Readers are gonna be leaders when it comes to CLAT examinations, guys. Study hard and be consistent. You make your daily routine plans. Okay, make your daily routine plans. Don't let this pandemic be heavy on you. Be positive, be motivated, study hard, and don't waste your time. Either you're using it, just don't laze out, either you're using it for study or freshen yourself. Don't just waste it off, I mean to say. Correct? Next is choose the correct mentors. Why I have mentioned here is because there is a drastic change in the paper pattern. Okay, so you need a right mentorship who can actually guide you towards the correct way of writing the examinations. Next is the regular revision. Because the concepts what you're going to study is very much different from your routine studies what you've been doing till now. Law is entirely different from what you've been studying. So regular revision will pay you a lot. Correct? Up your mocks. I must say the maneuver mocks are the replicas. Okay, are the replicas for your examination, guys. How to manage time, which section you are good at, how much time an expert is taking. All these details we give you. So when you are appearing mocks, one after the other, you will see how your score actually raises. And on the D-Day, guys, on your examination day, you will not find, paper to be a new paper. You will not be petrified. You already know how to go through it. Correct? Next is appearing mocks is one thing and analysis of mocks is another thing. If a question is wrong, then why it is wrong? What is the correct answer? What is the funda behind it? Correct? And if it is correct, guys, don't be overconfident. Find the tips and tricks to see how you can do it in the lesser time. Correct? So this is called as analysis of mocks. लोग mocks दे देते हैं, score देख के खुश हो जाते हैं. No, analysis is a must about it. Correct? So once you have or the topic wise mocks, you have the the complete mocks, everything is available. Okay, guys, so please follow these tips and I'm sure you will ace through your examinations. From maneuver, we have live interactive classes, okay, which are we have been very successful regarding this. the entire year we have been conducting, and people are really happy with us. We have the classrooms, we have the books, you know, the latest updated books, we have the mocks also, guys. We have GD VAT interviews, everything. The mentors appear paper every year. Okay, so you can guarantee about the right mentorship. We have the online live lectures, which for that you can contact us on 8828581455, and we are located at Borivali, Vasai and Dadar, guys. And for any other query or for any other thing, you can visit us at manuveredu.com, and the link for the same has been mentioned in the description also. For any other, you know, updates and exam notification, you can follow us on our all the social media handles, guys. Okay, so guys, stay tuned and please prepare yourself well and ace through your examinations. Thank you and all the best.